Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the 2025 COMPUTEX Forum. For those joining us for the first time, I'm Jeannie Chang, your MC for today. This afternoon, we will dive deeper into the theme of generative AI next. Let's get started with our first speaker, Mr. James McNiven, Vice President of Product Management, Client Line of Business at ARM. His topic is the scalability of intelligence, what the future of AI demands. Let's welcome Mr. McNiven to the stage.
Ooh, Anne. Okay, I'm sure you will have heard AI at every presentation this week, and it's probably going to continue for quite some time. But I'm an AI optimist. I believe that we really are in an incredibly exciting time. Perhaps one of the greatest opportunities in our lifetime, a once-in-a-generation moment. But as AI continues to grow and become more important, more useful to all of us, we risk its scalability if we don't innovate and deliver on these demands that it places. So where are we right now? Well, we've all become aware that in the last 2 years, for sure, AI really has sort of taken hold in our imaginations, with generative AI really taking off in 2023. But we're still in the very early phases. But AI continues to accelerate. The models have gotten a lot smarter. I think we've all seen that. They're now reasoning, they're multimodal, so not just text to text, but text to speech, to video, to audio, etc. And their accuracy has incredibly improved. On-device and edge AI is real, it's here. We've had a lot of innovation in efficient AI model architectures. We've got innovation in the hardware as well. And so this allows more and more inference to be carried out at the edge. And then, of course, I'm sure, again, you've heard this a lot this week, the rise of AI agents or agentic AI. And that's all about making our lives, again, more efficient, hopefully easier and better. And physical AI is emerging, so the ability to understand the environment, understand how the world kind of works, and use that to assist us as well. Now, sometimes it feels like it's just been in the last couple of years, but we really have been using and taking advantage of AI for a long time. A lot of you will already have experienced it with making graphics better, AI techniques to render more efficiently, to enhance video conferencing, for facial recognition, whether that's security or if some of you have used beautification filters or things like that. AI is behind that, voice processing, identifying songs, etc. And that's been going on for quite some time. But many people are still skeptical, certainly outside of the technology industry anyway. But do they really understand just how prevalent AI already is and just what it can enable in the future? And I, for sure, am certain that, this is not a hype cycle. AI is transforming billions of lives. And if we look at that transformation, we can quickly see some of the statistics and benefits of it. And I'm sure, again, many of you know this. We could see a shortened R&D cycle. In healthcare, there's a great example where, the longest part of medicine is often in those clinical trials. And AI has been used to accelerate that, saving up to 50% of the time in some cases. And that's all about getting new medicines in people's hands faster. Again, in autonomous vehicles or in safety in automotive, the potential to save millions of lives over time. And also then, of course, the speed of AI to do tasks. The reason for the iceberg is this is just one of many examples. Climate change researchers using AI to identify icebergs. thousands of times faster than a human can and to track the change in behaviors. But there's many, many more examples. And we're seeing faster progress than ever before. This is just one representation of ChatGPT's progress and the intelligence that's being added generation over generation. And you can see now that these models are approaching, or in some cases surpass, that of a PhD student. Now, I have a question for you. I want to know something from all of you here. Can you raise, I'm going to ask you if you can raise your hands if you use AI. Well, not everyone, but I think probably 90%, thank you. And then I'm going to ask you to raise your hands once more. If you use AI for work, please raise your hands. Oh, pretty similar, maybe slightly less, maybe 80% of the audience. It's incredible, isn't it? I use it a lot. I still feel like I'm cheating sometimes when I'm using it, but I definitely use it as well. So what's next then? With 80% of us, 90% of us using it on a regular basis, what happens next, and what about this scalability? Well, we said that AI models have gotten a lot smarter, but there is an impact on that. We already are on what we would say a collision course with reality unless we keep innovating or innovate even faster. ChatGPT, the numbers vary depending on where you look, but today a ChatGPT interaction will use up to 15 times more energy than a traditional search. And that's just today. As we take advantage of agentic AI, or perhaps if you're and most people are younger than me nowadays, my children use it in a different way, totally different way. My daughter chats with ChatGPT and other models as though it's a friend, asking not just questions for her studies, but just having a general discussion on what does my name mean? What's the vibe of her name? Which is, again, something I wouldn't do, but again, this is driving a huge amount of energy use. It's driving, in fact, AI generally, an estimated doubling in power every 100 days. And ChatGPT is estimated to use an amount of a small US city or a large town every day in power. And in fact, the IEA talks about data centers using as much power as 100,000 homes right now, and they're building ones which will consume 20 times that amount. And if that continues without innovation, just extrapolate a few years, and we're going to be using a lot more power than we can generate. So clearly that can't happen because, with no power, no AI. All that potential, all that use by my daughter or other people doesn't happen. And that will limit the benefits. Now, the solution, of course, is how do we make more performance along with more efficiency? And that requires us to rethink, everything, to be honest, starting with how we build devices to be both performant and efficient for AI. And at ARM, we've always sort of grown up with power at our sort of center, at our DNA. And so that's what we continue to challenge ourselves and our partnership and our ecosystem on. If we look at how that's affecting the world right now, we look at how the cloud really is running now on ARM. From AWS to Alibaba, now every major hyperscaler is building its solutions on top of our CPUs and our architecture. And that's not an accident. If you look at how it started, they built the servers and the services to run their first-party workloads super efficiently, whether that's AWS or Teams or YouTube or etc. But as that grows, then of course third parties come along to optimize their workloads and get innovation combined with the specialities that those hyperscalers bring as well. And that move from those custom techniques to the third-party developers is what we're seeing again now for AI at the edge, on your mobile handset, in your digital television, and in your car as well in the future. And the overall result has been a pretty great improvement in power efficiency. I mean, the numbers vary, of course, but on average, it's about 40%. And as we go into the era of AI, that same technique, or those same techniques, is being applied there as well. custom silicon being the way to optimize performance and efficiency and cost to really drive a good fit for that AI era. And NVIDIA is not alone. You can see that every major hyperscaler is taking a similar approach nowadays as well, defining the silicon around an AI-first data center. And of course, it's our role within the ecosystem to accelerate and simplify that, but it shows the opportunity out there to really deliver optimized AI solutions in hardware. And then, of course, if you remember the ecosystem, in software to take advantage of that. And if we look at how things are going there, by the end of this year, we see that 50% of all new chips shipped into hyperscalers will be ARM-based. So that's an amazing change, and that's being driven by efficiency as well as performance. But that's the cloud, right? So what about the edge? Well, I think for now, we'll see the vast majority of training continue in the data center. I don't think that's going to change. But inferencing is where, effectively where the services are deployed, where the money is made. And estimates, again, vary, right? If you ask ChatGPT or you ask your other favorite AI service, it'll give you a slightly different answer. But we are seeing that massive shift. And if we look at it today, IoT and manufacturing, somewhere between 10 and 30% of inferencing happening locally. On the handsets, it's about 50% of inferencing, whether that's some of the use cases I showed earlier or new ones that keep coming out. But in automotive, almost 100% of inferencing is happening there. Because you need fast response and basically guaranteed latency for safety-critical applications. And so all of this is only expected to grow over time. But all of this requires exponentially more compute. With us all using it more and more, with the agents starting to talk to each other, driving the demand for all those increase in tokens, we're going to have to deliver that and deliver it efficiently. And AI, therefore, has to happen at the edge. And there are many good reasons for this to think about. First of all, privacy, because you probably want to make sure that your personal data can be kept personal. And if it doesn't leave your device, then no data transmission is less chance of leakage. Personal data like your face that's used to unlock things, like your financial details, your health data that's now being generated as well. So privacy is critical for how we enable that scale at the edge. Latency I mentioned just now, no round trips to the cloud is a key advantage there. So those instant results that you get and how critical that is if you have a real-time application, whether that's self-driving cars or maybe augmented reality. And then cost and efficiency. The ability to offload all of that inference onto a local edge device. I think it's probably pretty obvious what it enables, a saving in those infrastructure costs, in the network costs, the ability to scale because whoever's using your service has got the device and is doing the inferencing themselves. So incredibly valuable at scale. And then finally, democratization, as we call it. Democratization and availability is what the edge also enables. If you're offline, if you're perhaps in an area without good connectivity, or your connectivity just isn't there at all. So for example, if you're sitting on an airplane or in a rural area, this is about how do we enable people who don't have the high-speed connections we've grown used to take advantage of some of these services without needing a billion-dollar lab connected with fiber and very high-speed Wi-Fi. So, as part of this scalability challenge, we're very fortunate that innovation continues in the AI model space. And that innovation is allowing those models to become more efficient, to become truly usable at the edge, both from a size point of view, speed point of view, and therefore a cost point of view, delivering greater applicability to all devices. And if we look at some of those areas of innovation, from model efficiency through to quantization. You can see examples here. Innovation in the last couple of years, such as tiny models. Smaller models like 5, 4, and Tiny Llama, really delivering the ability to run on phones that are available in the market today, and not just the top-end phones as well. Techniques like mixture of experts and sparsity, allowing only parts of the model to activate when you're using it, saving energy as well. Training innovation, tuning to the edge constraints that are out there. Inference optimization, stopping execution when it can, as fast as it can, again, to save energy, caching frequently used items as well. And then in quantization, the ability to compress these models. So we see models that are like 1 billion parameters now that are performing at the same level of accuracy a 3 billion parameter model would have done just a year or two ago. Pruning and distillation, using new data types, again, to squash these models down and make them really usable in all these types of devices. So we're very fortunate to see that happening, and I would challenge everyone thinking of building an AI inferencing service to think about how they can take advantage of this at the edge. And we said that on-device and edge AI is real. I'm sure pretty much everybody's using it, even if you don't know, through the photo use, for example. But if we take a bit of a closer look at beyond these use cases that we see today, we're seeing new use cases appear all the time. For example, cognitive assistance, the ability for devices, wearables, for example, to help you, to remind you to take your medicine, to help visual or audio enhancement. That's just one area of implementation and research right now. Auto assistance, of course, helping us day to day, and then the rise of agents as well, helping us in the background, helping solve multiple-step complex issues with minimal intervention. I mean, these are just some examples. If we take a look, though, at a couple of favorites, just to give you, hopefully, some insight as to why edge inferencing can become so important. First one, the Ray-Ban Meta AI glasses. Has anyone in the room got a pair of these? Ah, OK. I think a couple of hands I've raised. So this is a pair of, in this case, glasses that you wear working as your personal assistant. A lot of people use this to record video clips, but there's some great examples where ARM is being used to power this. And you can look at a menu, ask it for the vegetarian options if that's what you need, in a different language, and it will come back to you. So really sort of helping make life a little bit easier for certain use cases. And the demand is huge. In 60% of Ray-Ban stores in Europe, it's the top seller. A completely different use case now. Stability AI and the work we're doing with them. Stability AI is an open source company. They're known for a lot of their innovation in stable diffusion. And recently, they've been showing and demonstrating how their text-to-speech, so a kind of multimodal audio model, can run entirely on the ARM CPU. And I'll explain why that's so important a little bit later. We've been working with them to provide a bunch of library optimizations, ARM Kleidi AI, that we announced at COMPUTEX last year. And by taking advantage of that, they got a 30 times speed up in their audio generation. So now it's faster than real time. You can basically type into text the kind of music you want, and it'll generate that audio or sound effects for you. They've recently just announced they're open sourcing their 341 million parameter model, and we have a learning path on our website about it, so I would encourage you to check it out. So, and what's the learning of this? A totally different use case for AI, all inferenced at the edge, and highly optimized now because of software techniques. So we talked about how now we're moving into the future with AI agents and physical AI. And then the question and the challenge is, well, what are we doing in ARM to help drive some of that innovation for the future? And I look at it in sort of 4 key areas: security, power, performance, and then, of course, developers, because there's no point us doing all this work if developers can't actually use it. And when we look at an edge device, many edge devices aren't just running a pure AI workload. They're still running generic apps, whether they're games, with or without AI techniques, messaging, the same, web browsing, etc. So our challenge is really to sort of balance and optimize both of this in parallel. And if we look at it today, it's not just about a CPU. It's about providing the optimum compute and for developers to select that or take advantage of that optimum compute for AI. Now, in almost all devices, a CPU is required as the main brain of the device. But in many devices, we see a heterogeneous approach, particularly in mobile phones. We see GPUs and NPUs as well added into the system. So lots of choice now for developers to potentially think, what should they use? Now, NPUs have a place. They're great for very targeted performance, particularly with OEM apps. NPUs drive a very efficient amount of inferencing performance, but they're sometimes have to be very targeted for quantization and model porting. But for third parties, for the vast majority of app developers, one of the common targets out there really does remain the CPU. And the ARM CPU, in particular with ARM v9, being used, again, for just apps everywhere across the ecosystem. In some cases, there may be a GPU as well, such as our Mali GPU, where, again, AI can also be executed, and we see that happening today. So what are we doing to make it better going forwards? Well, I'm going to just pick on the CPU today. So the ARM CPU, and you'll see these three little letters next to it, SME. This is an area we're innovating in across the CPU space. And that's because for developers, if you're a software developer targeting the edge, that is the common target, whether you're on iOS with Apple, Android, Harmony OS, or Microsoft. It's the ARM instruction set. And with ARM v9, our version 9 of the architecture, we brought in new features purposely built to accelerate AI processing. An example is with the MediaTek Dimensity 9400. Inside it, there's features such as our scalable vector extension. This is accelerating workloads across the CPU for everything from media to AI, providing better and faster results, and more importantly, efficient results as well, saving energy. But our latest architectural feature that we have been talking about this week is SME, our scalable matrix extension, a hardware feature that you're going to see in the very near future. Not today. I'm only going to talk about it at a high level today, but in the very near future, this is coming to devices. It's providing a common set of instructions, delivering incredible performance and efficiency. And we've been adding more and more capabilities for AI over the years. This isn't just this year. For years, we've been building up this capability in the architecture and our CPUs, all the way up to SME that I just mentioned. Let's take a little bit more of a look at it. Earlier this week, we announced our flagship, or we talked about our next generation flagship mobile CPU, Travis, which comes with double-digit IPC gains. So all developers, all apps will get a benefit from the boost in performance. But it also comes enhanced with SME. What is SME? It's an instruction set architectural extension. It's a set of new instructions and support that accelerates matrix and vectors, something that's at the heart of all AI models and frameworks. It's got a whole bunch of features. I'm not going to go through all these and test you, but everything from outer product multiplications, a huge broad data type support. It's scalable for all types of devices as well, from powerful to small and efficient. What do I mean by powerful? It'll allow a step change in some of these critical operations. You can see there for map-mul operations, it's also more efficient than how it's previously been done as well. And because it's running on the CPU, it benefits from the security architecture that the CPUs have, and super flexible for tomorrow's workloads. But most of you don't need to worry about this. Most of you, hopefully, will just benefit from all this because we're enabling it through our libraries. So developers don't have to worry about the detail underneath. And the reason to do that is, unfortunately, although we spend a lot of time developing this hardware, out of the 22 million developers that we now have working on ARM, only a fraction, as I say, will need to take advantage of this detail. Kleidi AI abstracts the detail from them. And we've spent a lot of time just, as I say, making sure the software just works here. Kleidi has been introduced and integrated now into pretty much all the major AI frameworks. So again, you just automatically can use it. And Jensen, in our ARM's CEO, René Haas's podcast, pointed out that software never dies. Hardware gets replaced over time, but software becomes the defense. Software becomes the value over time. And so we want to make sure it's as easy as possible for our developer community. And really proud of the progress we've made. You can see just some of the AI frameworks that we've integrated this library into. So everything from Llama through to, most recently, in fact, announced just 2 days ago, I think, our Onyx work with Microsoft, speeding up token generation and speeding up responsiveness. In fact, responsiveness by, I think, over 2x as well. Again, most of developers won't even have to worry about this because they will get benefits through these frameworks. And it means that when new versions come out, they will ultimately unlock the hardware. When we implement new hardware, it'll automatically unlock the performance as well. And although I mentioned that we announced Kleidi last year at COMPUTEX, over the last 9 months or so, we've been adding support for SME into it. So on day one of that new hardware coming really soon, it will benefit everyone. So we talked about AI now being everywhere. So what does the future of AI demand? It demands efficient compute, from AI model innovation, of course, hardware innovation, and also ecosystem innovation. It requires secure compute to keep your data personal, and also those millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions in training investments safe as well, securing not only the data, but also helping secure the frameworks and models themselves. And then it requires high-performance compute to meet the rise of more and more token use, the more and more sort of use cases and new techniques such as agentic AI and physical AI. But I wanted to leave you with a final thought. AI has so much potential for everyone. But as you've heard, and I think most of you know, it is incredibly compute and memory intense still. So it's not without cost. But the value of AI can be incredible. But at ARM, we really need to enable AI across all the different consumers and market segments and device tiers out there. Not everyone has access to $1,000 handsets or billion-dollar AI factories. So bringing more efficient AI compute across all these segments and all markets is a big focus for us, and enabling developers to take advantage of that too. The future of AI just doesn't depend on how smart our models or our hardware is. It depends on how smart we all are in scaling them. So let's build an AI ecosystem that's powerful, efficient, and fair for everyone. Thank you. 谢谢.
Thank you, Mr. McNeven, for your wonderful sharing. Next, we will hear from Mr. Saurabh Kulkarni, Vice President of Intel AI Systems and GPU Products. He will present the open path to enterprise AI, flexible, reliable, and performance solutions. First, let's watch a video together.
So here's the thing. All the greatness in the world, every feat, every breakthrough, every game-changing, paradigm-shifting accomplishment you admire out there, didn't come from out there. See, greatness, true greatness, your greatness, it can be easy to lose sight of. But it's here, inside all of us, inside you. And greatness, that can always grow greater. All it needs is ignition. So let's hit that switch, push the throttle, kick that door wide open. After all, we know a thing or two about what's inside. How to amplify it, how to multiply it, accelerate it. So you're not just leaning into the future, you're launching into it. With more ingenuity inside, more creativity inside, more security, innovation, intelligence. Because that greatness inside you, that is your superpower. Helping you unleash it, that's ours.
Good afternoon, and thank you everyone for being here. Thank you. It is so good to be here in Taiwan at this wonderful event. My name is Saurabh Kulkarni. I lead strategy and product management for Intel's AI systems and GPU product portfolio, focusing on the data center. Today, I'm going to be talking about Intel's approach towards enterprise AI, an approach that focuses on flexibility, reliability, and performance. So without further ado, let's get started. The data center is close to my heart. It has been what I've been doing over the past 10 years or so. So I'm going to start with the data center. The data center has evolved, is evolving as we speak. So going back in history a little bit, it started with traditional enterprises. The focus was dense computing, traditional computing, with primarily CPU-based architectures and targeting general-purpose workloads. And then the cloud came along, where it was all about emphasis on application development in a cloud environment, and also DevOps like initiatives to improve productivity for the average developer who wanted to take advantage of the cloud. And the edge came along with it as well. But now what we are going through is an inflection, another key inflection in the form of the emergence of what we call the frontier AI data center, which is data centers that are being purpose-built to serve the needs of the latest and greatest AI models. So one thing that has stayed constant throughout these transitions is that the data center has had to react and adopt to the changing landscape of all the workloads that it needs to support. While all the buzz is about AI and foundational model training and inferencing, traditional enterprise workloads still are critically important for what the data center has to serve. Now, I would be remiss in talking about agentic AI and AI agents in a talk that is focused on AI. It would not be a stretch to say that we are living in the world of AI agents. The evolution of AI applications has been so far largely around automating simple tasks. That's what AI agents do. Tasks such as code generation or grammar correction, solving math problems, be it simple math problems or complex puzzles, object detection, and the list goes on. However, that is not where we want AI to stop, obviously. We want AI to take on more complex tasks, which is effectively creating a pipeline that is stitched together by connecting the output of various AI agents who work in unison. And that is what agentic AI is all about. It includes key decision-making control loops within the AI agents themselves, and then also across AI agents to form a complete pipeline. So let's dig into agentic AI a little bit. There are 4 key components as we look at it. It starts with perception, which is effectively just taking a survey of the environment around you. So data ingest effectively is the backbone of this phase of agentic AI, where the model effectively gathers data from every single sensor that it is exposed to. And the sensor doesn't necessarily have to be physical sensors. It can be an input data pipeline that is effectively generated by the sensor at a remote location. The next step is reasoning. this is what models like DeepSeek have actually brought into prominence, which is this chain of thought that leads to an AI model go through an entire reasoning cycles before it can generate a meaningful output token or some meaningful response. And that will lead to action, because we obviously don't want the model to stop at just coming up with reasoning scenarios. We need some concrete actions out of it, which is what the next phase is. And finally, last but definitely not the least, the model cannot be a static model. It has to be continuously learning from its environment, which is why continuous learning is a critical element of AI agents. So in a world of agentic AI, we are going to be lightening up various scenarios, starting with simpler ones, all the way to very, very complex scenarios in real-world settings, things such as bug tracking systems or autonomous vehicles, which will drive critical value to the enterprise and other customer bases. So how do we at Intel look at this problem or this scenario? We are looking at it as a holistic software-first, systems-first, with that kind of a mindset, where it all starts with the workload, the top-level scenario that customers want to light up, and then going down from that, taking a software-first approach, because at the end of the day, whatever infrastructure we build, the consumer or the developer is going to interface through it through software. So workloads and softwares are critical elements of what we do when it comes to lightening up agentic AI-like applications. And then it is not just that. Obviously, we focus on systems. We are, at the end of the day, our roots are semiconductors and hardware. So at Intel, we are looking at building innovative systems that will power the next generation of AI infrastructure, the foundation of which is the silicon and the semiconductors that we build. This spans the entire gamut. We have our strengths in general-purpose CPUs, and then we are also fastly adopting the accelerator and GPU inflection that is happening as far as silicon and semiconductors are going. At Intel, we have assets that span the entire gamut of computing. We look at it as a continuum, starting with the client, AI PCs, to the data center that I talked about a little bit, which is what I'm calling a traditional data center here, which is both Xeon-based large data centers and also edge locations. And then finally, scalable AI systems, which form the backbone of this frontier AI data center archetype that I referred to earlier. So let's dig deep into each one of these one by one, starting with what we are doing in the client space. Let's start with the AI PC. Now, I'm very proud to say that we have successfully brought the AI PC to life from its very, very early days, now shipping tens of millions of units that enable new AI features on device on almost a daily basis. This is a game changer for various vectors that our customers care about, such as obviously cost, privacy, security, because if you're doing AI on device, the data does not need to leave the device, and endpoint security is enabled in a much more effective manner if the AI runs or the application runs entirely locally on the device or at the edge. And that is what AI PC effectively enables. I'll talk a little bit more about what we are doing there in subsequent slides. But before that, let me go over our client roadmap, which is innovative, and we have innovated over the past several generations of core CPUs for our PCs. But with the emergence of the AI PC swim lane, we have never been so innovative as in the past few generations of our product. We continue to invest and build revolutionary technology that is reshaping the way our customers and consumers are experiencing the AI PC. We are better meeting enterprise needs along the vectors that I talked about: cost, privacy, data privacy, and security. And finally, we are igniting a new wave of industry transformations thanks to how our customers and the average consumer develops and consumes AI through the client. We have delivered a product roadmap that we laid out for you 2-3 years ago and have executed on it diligently. With Panther Lake, our next-gen CPU coming up next. Panther Lake combines the power efficiency of Lunar Lake with the performance of Arrow Lake and is built on our latest and greatest process generation, 18A, which is on track for production later this year. So very psyched about Panther Lake. So look out for more news on that as the months go by. Now, as customers and enterprises assess their needs, we also evolve and we offer the broadest portfolio of AI-ready options that drive unique customer value in every scenario. We have the most comprehensive set of AI commercial experiences that are enabled through what you're seeing on the slide here, which offers peace of mind to the IT professional because they don't have to worry about app compatibility. As organizations move to newer generations of operating systems, like, for example, the transition over to Windows 11, expected to be very, very smooth. Along with the feature set that I talked about, we deliver performance leadership because that is at the root of what we have been doing over several generations of our product lines here at Intel, which adds to not just functionality, but also the overall experience on several performance metrics, such as latency being the most important one for AI on our client devices. And last but not the least, obviously, software is a key element of all of this. We have huge investments in a software stack that can run seamlessly across multiple generations of our AI PCs without significant barriers of entries for customers to write new applications focused on the client. We at Intel have traditionally been an ecosystem company. We have not taken the approach of doing it all alone by ourselves on an island. Instead, we have always taken the industry ecosystem along with us, which is what you see on the slide here. The numbers here are staggering. 200 plus ISVs co-developing software applications for AI and non-AI applications on our PC products. More than 900 models, AI models, the latest and greatest supported on our devices. 15,000 AI PC developers. This is probably a lowball number. The real number is probably higher. But more than 15,000 developers actively developing applications on our devices. And if I start counting the number of features that are delivered day in and day out, I think that list goes on and on. So all in all, we continue to remain focused on establishing and bringing the ecosystem along with us for not only the client, but also for the data center. I'm very excited to announce that the AI Assistant Builder is now publicly available. You can go to GitHub and just start playing around with it, get started. It's going to be a wonderful experience, and it's free to top it all up. It's all about enabling and supporting the ecosystem to create locally deployable AI agents that can run on the PC. Very proud to announce that 3 of our partners that we have been working very closely are also announcing their solutions with the AI Assistant Builder, Acer, Asus, and Accenture. So very, very excited about that. So I talked about the AI PC and the client with so many exciting things happening on the client segment, which is innovating enterprises. The data center cannot be left behind. So let's spend the next few minutes talking about what we are doing in terms of innovation when it comes to the data center. Nobody should be surprised looking at this graph. This is, by some measure, the total addressable market for data center, taking an AI-centric view, going from 2024 to 2027. If I map the historical data leading up to 2024, this will probably look a little more staggering than what you see here. But the key message here is that AI is driving the total market for the data center like no time in the past. The CAGR, you can do the math yourself, but we are close to doubling this outlay in a matter of 3 to 4 years, which is quite staggering. A lot of it is driven, obviously, by AI, but non-AI traditional workloads are not to be left behind because that has to come along, and a lot of it is served in the data center. So this is the driving force behind all of our investments in this space, which I'll talk about next. Xeon is the backbone of our data center play. I'm going to be talking about our Xeon 6 processor family, which we launched recently, which offers industry-leading performance for the broadest set of workloads that you can imagine, obviously AI being at the forefront of our performance leadership, with over 50% lower TCO while maintaining superior performance compared to our competition. Especially great at doing AI and AI inferencing on small to medium scale AI models, including large language models. So for customers that have a deployed base of CPUs, and if CPU capacity is being underutilized, there is no better solution to run AI models than Xeons. But even when the availability of Xeons is not an issue, for the small to medium scale LLM category in the 7 to 20 billion parameter model category for open source models like Llama, Xeon is a great target to run AI, meeting SLA requirements on latency and throughput. For AI hosting, Xeon remains the CPU of choice for GPU-powered systems. This is corroborated by the number of Xeon-based head nodes that we sell that power the latest and greatest generations of GPUs from not just us, but our competition as well. And we are very, very proud of Intel's deep technical collaboration with the ecosystem that we are in terms of delivering the world's best CPU for AI. In terms of some numbers, we are on the Xeon 6 generation delivering up to 128 performant cores with built-in AI acceleration in the form of our AMX family of ISA extension or instruction set architecture extensions, which is now in its second generation on Xeon 6, and we will continue to innovate in future generations. Another key piece of innovation here is something we call MRDIMM, which is a memory technology based on traditional DRAM that offers up to 30% higher memory bandwidth compared to the traditional DIMMs that people are used to, which is extremely critical to improve latency for large language models. Now, I can say all I want about how good Xeon 6 is, but nothing is better than a set of customer testimonials that tout the prowess of Xeon 6 for AI. So let's hear directly from some of our customers in this short video about what they have to say about Xeon 6.
Our partnership with Intel starts a long time back. The magic they create, we light up and bring to life.
Xeon hardware is really allowing us to rapidly grow and deploy at scale.
More AI, more requests per second.
Half the cost, twice the speed.
Automotive, healthcare, retail.
Compute power is extremely important.
We are super excited about the roadmap that's coming.
So now that we have heard what our customers have had to say about Xeon, I want to actually make a subtle point about the use of Xeon, not just in traditional data centers, but also for telco and edge. Custom Xeon SoCs are customized or tailored for that application have been extremely successful in the marketplace, and we will continue our investments on Xeon to ensure that we are addressing the needs of our telco and edge partners. Now, what makes Xeon 6 so great at being the head node of choice for AI and other general purpose applications? Here are a few things. MRDIMMs I talked about, 30% more bandwidth than traditional DIMMs. As TDPs or power consumption needs of CPUs start to grow, cooling technologies become very, very important. So advanced cooling technologies is something that we have invested in and will continue to invest in to ensure that we can cool these power-hungry devices going forward. which leads to server consolidation to support infrastructure modernization. As you all may know, we have two families of Xeon Xeon cores or CPU cores that power the data center. The P core, which is focused on performance, and E core, which is focused on efficiency, both power and cost efficiency. We will continue to make our investments in both families to bring out the best that Xeon can offer for customers. So now that we have talked about the client and the data center, I want to spend the remaining part of my presentation talking about scalable AI systems, which is what I focus on and am very, very excited about. And I don't need to explain why I'm excited about, because this is the age of AI. And we are committed to helping everybody navigate today's challenges and prepare for an AI-ready future. I'd like to share some product plans with you all today for our scalable AI systems, starting small, going big. So let's jump right into it. And let's start with our Arc family of GPUs, focusing on the client and edge. At COMPUTEX, gives me great pleasure to participate in the formal launch of the Arc Pro B60, the 24 gigabyte version of that GPU, and the B50, which is the 16 gigabyte version for workstation and tailoring to the needs of AI use cases besides just being great graphics card. These products are based on our Battlemage architecture, and we will expand that product portfolio in the Arc Pro family specifically for AI inferencing with larger memory configurations and expanded software support. The client AI GPUs are shown to be working in multi-GPU scenarios as well, because as model sizes grow, they can't be just run on a single GPU. Effectively running model parallel scenarios, leveraging multiple GPUs is an important attribute. Later this year, we will also have an Arc GPU for edge servers. More details to come on that very soon. But in summary, we are very, very excited to bring these expanded Arc GPU offerings to our customer base. Let's talk about data center GPUs, which we have been investing in over the past few years through our Gaudi line of products. We launched Gaudi 3 recently to meet diverse needs of our data center customers. We designed Gaudi 3 with the systems first approach, prioritizing inference initially and fine-tuning of small to medium scale models, at the same time driving efficiency both from a performance per TCO standpoint and also power efficiency standpoint. It is offered, as you can see here, in actually two form factors, which is the OAM module and the PCIe card. The OAM module can be then mounted on a universal baseboard, the UBB, in the form of an all-to-all mesh with 8 of these Gaudi accelerators on the board to form the UBB complex, which is the scale-up domain in this form factor, which then can be connected using regular Ethernet to form very large scale-out domains, going up to a couple thousand Gaudi 3s as well for customers who want scale. Performance advantages, the numbers speak for themselves. Up to 2.5x more performance per dollar compared to the NVIDIA H100 GPU as measured by an independent party, Signal 65, who recently published their results. Again, in terms of small input and large output sequence lengths, which is a very common scenario for LLMs, we are showing up to 30% better performance per dollar on these kind of scenarios on Gaudi 3 compared to the H100 system. We launched Gaudi instances in IBM Cloud in deep collaboration with IBM recently, and we're excited to announce the general availability of those instances. We are beginning to see customer traffic on it, and some of this data is supportive of the kind of benefits that our customers are seeing on Gaudi 3 instances in IBM Cloud. For smaller models such as the Granite 3.1 8 billion parameter model, Gaudi 3, as you can see, is 60% more cost efficient compared to H200. For larger models, the performance benefit in terms of as measured by throughput can go all the way up to 2x while still offering significant cost benefits. So all in all, very excited about the availability of Gaudi in a public cloud through our close partnership with IBM. We are not stopping there with Gaudi. At Intel Vision, we unveiled a rack scale architecture for Gaudi 3 as well, which expands the scale-up domain on Gaudi 3 from 8 GPUs to all the way 64 GPUs with potentially an intermediate point of 32 GPUs in a single rack scale or single high bandwidth domain as well. This targets large-scale AI models, both for inferencing, performant inferencing, and also for training. So for instance, for models that range up to 1 trillion parameters or more in size, it is important to have a high bandwidth domain that spans those many number of GPUs. And scalability is paramount for emerging AI model use cases, both for training and inferencing. So very, very excited about the rack scale offering on Gaudi 3, which we will bring to market in the next 2 or 3 quarters. Software cannot be overlooked. It is all about software when it comes to consuming AI. We are taking an open industry standard approach, and we are offering support for key Gen AI frameworks like PyTorch and VLLM for inferencing serving on Gaudi 3. We have PyTorch support in the form of a PyTorch bridge, which will be open source soon, and all of the entire vertically integrated software stack on Gaudi makes the life of an average developer and the savvy developer very, very easy. I want to leave you with this one key message when it comes to AI. At the end of the day, the value that a customer accrues from AI is in inference. So the payoff really is inference. And for inference that runs across the entire gamut of the compute continuum that I have talked about, Intel has a product in each of these segments. So at the end of the day, consumers and customers are looking for continuity, and we feel like we are very well positioned to offer that to our customers. We know that together we can break down barriers and scale the possibilities to make AI acceleration something that can be offered to everyone and not to the select few who have the dollars or the wherewithal to do it. Echoing our esteemed CEO's words, we care deeply about the business, about the customer's business, and are here to serve you. As long as we are doing that, we are very confident in our ability to succeed. We have a lot of work ahead of us, and the inflection towards the frontier AI data center is just starting. We want to partner with all of you and bring that to fruition. If you want to learn more about all of the technologies that we are showcasing, please visit our booth here on the conference floor, and do not hesitate to reach out for any questions that you may have. With that, I thank you all again for listening and participating in this. Looking forward to a bigger and brighter AI future for all of us here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kulkarni, for your valuable insight. Now, let's move on to our next speaker, Mr. Jeremy Wilmart, Director of the APAC Digital Strategy Group at Adobe. He will present AI-powered customer experience orchestration. We will begin with a video.
Good afternoon, everyone. How is everyone today? Come on, give a cheer. We've seen some amazing stuff with the hardware and the data centers, but today I want to share a little bit about customer experience orchestration powered by AI. I want to show you some of the cool stuff we're doing. So to start with, it's incredible to reflect on how creativity has evolved over the last year and the transformative role this is having on driving digital experiences. We're in an era where creativity, marketing, and AI are all coming together to transform customer experience, and enterprises across the globe are investing in resources and technology to up-level their experience. AI is accelerating and expanding our creative possibilities together for everyone. It's opening the content floodgates and opening our imagination, redefining what we mean by the word scale. Since Adobe's founding, we've been passionate about helping individuals and brands tell their story to the world. And today we enable anyone with a creative idea across any media type to bring it to life. We believe creativity is the new productivity. And as we see with communications being increasingly more expressive and more visual, and we're going to take a look in a moment. So with every product launch, we expand the aperture, we grow the lens at Adobe, and make creativity accessible to more people. It's what we call creativity for all. And within today's explosive growth of content, we're focused on bringing creativity and marketing closer together. Our goal is to help all of you deliver rich, immersive experiences for your customers that drive brand growth, drive loyalty, and drive customer satisfaction. In the era of AI, we're even more focused on enabling you to unify creativity, marketing, and AI to allow you to drive conversational experiences at a global scale. So why do I care so much about experience? Well, experience has never mattered more. Customers' expectations continue to rise. Have a bit of a think about the brands that you guys love, right? For me, I love Nike. I love the fitness app. I love the Run Club. I love Marriott Bonvoy. I love that they remember me. They know I like golf. I'm not that good at it, but they know I like golf and book me in for golf, but they deliver me personalized experiences. One of our recent reports, done in conjunction with Oxford Economics, showed that 70% of consumers now think that it's not just important, but it's very or critically important for the brands they engage with to deliver them rich, personalized experiences. And you know what happens when we deliver these experiences? What do you do when you get a great experience for your brand? You reward that brand with your loyalty and with your custom. And on average, what we see is that brands that invest in experience and deliver great experiences are driving more revenue than their peers. They're driving more retention, and on average, more than 2 times average order value. These findings affirm that investing in customer experience is not merely a strategic choice, but it's now a critical factor in business growth. However, we see that not all brands are increasing their experiences at the scale of customers' expectations. It's what we call the experience gap, right? The gap between what we expect as customers and what's getting delivered. And with only 70% of customers expecting great experiences, we're now seeing in our latest reports that only 14% of brands think they're able to deliver great experiences across every channel, across every touch point, across every experience for their customer. As customers' expectations continue to grow and delivering these rich, memorable experiences becomes more and more important, it's becoming more challenging, right? It's harder as expectations grow. But as it's becoming central to business growth, and brands are under more pressure than ever before to deliver these rich experiences, to do it faster, to do it more efficiently, and to deliver at greater scale, greater speed, and greater relevance. And to do this, scaling with AI is central. So let's have a little bit of a think about experiences, right? Think of your brands, think of a campaign you're going to launch, 8 products. As you scale that, maybe 15 different channels, your social channels, your web, your app, your in-store. Maybe you're going to scale to different geographies, so let's say 35 different languages. And best practices today call for personalization. So maybe not a variant for everyone, but let's just do 10 different variants. And finally, refreshing content. Maybe not all the time, but let's at least do it once a month. So 12 different refreshes. It doesn't feel like that much, but for the math wizards in the room, 8 by 15 by 35 by 10 by 12, all of a sudden this campaign now requires over 500,000 assets to be able to be delivered. You can easily see here why organizations are thinking, I've got a content bottleneck. And the biggest brands in the world that we're working with are saying, how do I deliver content faster? How do I make sure it's on brand? How do I scale? How do I fix my content supply issue? And it's not just content. Delivering great experiences at scale, you need to focus on delivering that right content in the right channel, to the right customer at the right time. And to do this, 3 really important things have to come together. Number 1, your data. You've got to understand your customer across all of the different devices they use. And that's how we understand their need. Secondly, your content, your assets, your images, your videos, your forms, all of these different assets for your customers need to be personalized, and that's how we respond to our customers' needs. And finally, that data and that content needs to come together with your journeys to be able to deliver in the channels that your customers choose in the moments that matter. To drive experiences at speed and scale, we hear brands ask, not just how do I do that content faster, but how do I create all of these different audience and segments? How do I make sure every single click in every channel by every customer is captured? How do we orchestrate journeys across all the different channels and support our customers' individual needs? And how do we enable ongoing experimentation across our experiences? Because we want teams not just to manage, we want teams to be able to thrive, and thrive in a world now where customer experiences we need to do more than ever before, and it's essential for business growth. So customers are saying, how do I bring together content, data and journeys to be able to deliver unified experiences? Well, spoiler alert, being able to deliver great experiences at scale is not possible and not feasible without leveraging AI. Our latest 2025 Digital Trends report into AI and also IDC's 2025 Future Customer Experience Trends report highlighted a few really interesting facts. Number 1, 39% of customers are already using AI in all of their shopping journeys. Secondly, 55%, more than half of Fortune 500 customers are going to adopt experiences end-to-end, autonomous experiences across their journeys. And finally, the one I thought was really fascinating is 89% of executives are saying they will not reach their business goals in the next 3 years without scaling AI. Customer experience management is being transformed in the era of AI. And actually, you know what? It's not enough just to manage. We've got to orchestrate rich, personalized experiences. So have a little bit of a think for yourself. What if I told you you could deliver 10 times the content and 10 times the experience without the 10 times the investment? Imagine what would that mean for your business. Imagine scaling into different geographies, speed and time to market with all the amazing products we've seen today, for customer engagement and for your business growth. At Adobe, we've made investments in generative AI, knowing how transformative it'll be for our customers. So let's have a bit of a look. Right, so I think we're agreed. Customers and all of us expect rich, seamless experiences, personalized, in real time, and two-way conversations with all of your brands, while respecting their individual preferences and their privacy. To deliver this, we've got to orchestrate experiences at scale, not just across your teams, across your AI agents, across your workflows, across your apps, where your customers, your content and data all come together in harmony with AI, while keeping your business goals front and center. This is what Adobe we call customer experience orchestration, which is defined by Gen AI and agent technology. Adobe's AI agents are purpose-built for enterprise, and they leverage our decades of experience with creatives and with experience makers. They power customer experience orchestration. Enterprises need to know. We need to know our investments are safe. We need to know they're scalable. We need to know they're extensible. So, our focus for AI, firstly, is responsible and safe. Our commitment is to accountability, responsibility, and transparency. Secondly, it's where brand integrity is central. We allow scaling of on-brand content, empowering brands to remain in control of their creative and assets. And we also establish provenance of generative outputs and content credentials. Our Content Authenticity Initiative ensures transparency in safeguarding originality in digital content creation. Thirdly, it's purpose-built for experience orchestration. We leverage years of domain experience, workflows, pain points, data structures, and empower it with pre-built agents designed to reduce complexity and get to value faster. It's grounded in real-time data, rich, continuously refreshed, and enterprise-grade. And it leverages Adobe's Experience Platform's semantic understanding of both customer data, but also content metadata to drive our decision-making. And finally, our focus for AI is extensible and enterprise scale. It's seamlessly incorporated into the Adobe products that your marketing and tech teams use every day and enables the ecosystem to extend with pre-built agents and support new agents, as well as doing cross-agent orchestration. Customer experience orchestration is accelerated with AI, and our platform powers this. So let's take a little bit of a look at the platform. Our highly differentiated approach to AI is rooted in the belief that creativity is a uniquely human trait. But AI has the power to assist. It has the power to amplify human ingenuity and enhance our productivity. We've innovated across all 4 layers of this stack because we believe it's the only way to deliver AI, to do it in a way that enhances your work. Firstly, with the data, we train our leading Firefly models on high-quality data assets, which offer you commercially safe solutions. Secondly, we enable enterprises to build custom models that leverage your assets and content, as well as understand your unique brand values. And we also bring in third-party models, including Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and many more. We're now augmenting this data model strategy across the agent orchestration with creative, document, and customer experience agents. Agents that not just perform tasks, but agents that will reason and help you achieve your business outcomes. Together, these form the foundations of our AI platform, powering the applications and the interfaces that we use every day across creativity and marketing. So let's get into the good stuff. Let's have a little bit of a look at how we're unleashing creativity, how we're supercharging content supply chain, and how we are expanding customer experience orchestration. So firstly, Adobe's AI platform is unleashing creativity at an unprecedented scale. Just over 24 months ago, we launched Adobe's Firefly models. And I'm pleased to say, together with you all, since then we've had over 22 billion images and pieces of content created. Firefly is our suite of Gen AI models designed to assist in creating images, video, audio, vector graphics, all from text prompts. It integrates seamlessly with Adobe Creative Cloud applications like Photoshop, Illustrator, and Adobe Express, but also has its own native web apps. Firefly enabling anyone to generate content and edit images effectively. Recent expansions have included video models, enabling not just to create from text prompts video, but to be able to have frame size, camera angle, shot, motion, as well as reference styles. And as of last month, we're delighted to update the launch of audio and 3D models inside Firefly. All of these able to be created with text prompts. How we're supporting the enterprise. Firefly Enterprise Solutions are a set of APIs and solutions that allow our biggest customers to deliver at scale. It includes custom models, which lets you train your proprietary content, ensuring all content stays on brand with a huge scale. It also provides a broad range of generative capabilities through automation, including images, video, custom models, generative fill, all able to be automated. Provides value in 4 ways. Number 1, it eliminates highly manual tasks. Secondly, it's built on the Firefly model, so it's commercially safe. It's all trained on enterprise-grade content and data to make sure that everything you create for your company can be used with confidence. Thirdly, it streamlines end-to-end content workflows, so customers can accelerate their content production. Remember that 500,000 assets for one campaign we looked at before? And fourth, it allows brands to maintain quality and control, so customers can harness the strength of Adobe solutions like Photoshop to ensure high-quality content and keeping creatives in the loop. Second big thing our AI platform's doing, it is supercharging content supply. So I talked about the challenge with needing all of the content, and we know speed to market can make the difference for our companies. Personalization is really hard to scale. And as you saw, we need exponentially more content. Different variants, different products, different channels, different languages, different demographics. And you need to refresh that content regularly because the shelf life of content's getting smaller. And you need to be cost effective because we're not seeing teams and investments grow at the scale of content demands. But with all of that, our studies are suggesting that creatives are spending 21 hours a week. More than half of their week is spent doing tasks that can now all be completely automated. And 80% of companies are saying they don't have end-to-end visibility over their content supply chain. That's why we built Adobe's Gen Studio. It's our solution for controlling the content supply chain. End-to-end visibility across your creative, across your assets, and across your campaigns, all supercharged with AI. 5 key building blocks. Firstly, it supports workflow and it supports planning, building connected workflows across your teams to create and scale content. Secondly, it scales content production, transforming your work with generative AI to automate content variations at scale and empower anyone in your business, including techies, creative team, the entire business to create on-brand assets at scale. It powers asset management for thousands or millions of different assets across the business, allowing them to be modularly assembled across different channels. It allows delivery and activation across any channel. And the one I love, reporting and insights. It allows you to see at a granular level, every piece of content, what is driving the performance for your business, what's driving your conversion, what's driving your engagement, and what's driving your customers' loyalty. So complete visibility across your end-to-end campaigns, supercharging and streamlining content. Gen Studio Solutions solves for key challenges in the content supply chain. Actually, our customers are reaping the rewards. So firstly, VMware, less manual tasks, 60% of manual tasks taken out of the business around creativity. Secondly, IBM, being able to boost their creative output. IBM saw 10 times the productivity uplift leveraging the tools. Gatorade let their own customers design on-brand bottles and created 200,000 different assets in less than 2 weeks. Coca-Cola, one of the biggest brands on the planet, able to leverage our tools to connect with over 2 billion customers over its 200 plus brands. And then we always like to be customer zero at Adobe, to use our own tools and optimize them. And so this year, last year when we did our Black Friday sale, we were able to take 63% drop in our production costs for that campaign. So delivering at absolute scale. We've also recently launched Gen Studio for performance marketing. It's a specific application within our Gen Studio ecosystem designed for high-performance marketing campaigns. It focuses on creating assets for your email, for your social, for your paid media. And the core differentiation lies in its specialization. Gen Studio for performance marketing is designed for maximizing campaign performance through data-driven insights and AI content automation. Let's have a look.
Experience the power of AI content creation and the intelligence of AI analytics in a single solution. Adobe Gen Studio for performance marketing lets marketers create their own on-brand emails, paid social ads, and display ads at unprecedented speed and scale, all while maintaining enterprise-level governance. Real-time insights show exactly where and why your content performs, so you can optimize on the fly and launch every campaign with confidence. Refresh content for new audiences and channels in minutes, not weeks, delivering the high-performing experiences customers expect and driving measurable results faster. Adobe Gen Studio for performance marketing, AI-powered to empower marketers.
Awesome. I'm not too sure how big camping is in Taiwan, maybe up in the mountains, but again, the ability to absolutely scale. Third big thing our AI platform is enabling. It's enabling brands to power and scale customer experiences through customer experience orchestration. Once you've got that content firing and your content supply chain humming along, you're able to deliver unified experiences to your customer at every touch point, across every channel, in real time. I'm going to show you in a moment how we're putting this to work alongside brands to deliver unified customer experiences. Our vision for customer experience orchestration is where teams are going to be supported by purpose-built agents. They'll have additional capability to get work done because teams are out there and agents are working on their behalf. So whether it's in the background working alongside teams or in the foreground helping them, we make sure that the brand is able to deliver high-impact solutions. In addition to this additional capacity, agents provide the opportunity to take personalization at scale to a whole new level. Personalization that's more granular, more continuous across every single channel, and the agents are able to take all of that mundane work off our teams. It frees up experienced teams to focus on what I believe is uniquely human, right? Exercising their creativity to look at ways they can drive connection, they can drive differentiation, and they can grow their brands. To power this, we've recently launched the Agent Orchestrator. This technology is part of the Adobe Experience Platform, and it's the foundation for all of these agents. It helps our customers across the entire experience lifecycle. The platform, with a focus on agentic offerings and the agents, is purpose-built for customer experience orchestration at every stage of the experience lifecycle. We recently announced 10 new agents with other ones coming soon. And together, they will supercharge teams' capacity and ability to deliver personalized experiences at scale. Each customer agent addresses a different challenge or a different bottleneck with experience creation, helping teams where they're overburdened and where issues arise. So let's take a little bit of a look at a couple of these agents. The first is the audience agent, which streamlines the complexity of being able to create audiences and optimize them. These agents work on your behalf in real time, creating segments, creating target audiences, defining personas for campaigns, and optimizing audience targeting. They offer capabilities like looking for overlap duplicate segments, analyzing behavior of every individual customer, and looking for conversion signals, creating audiences that you're able to target. They simplify audience creation by estimating audience size, what to target them with, and growing opportunities looking for lookalike models. By automating tasks like creative audiences, the agent enables customer experience teams to focus on more strategic aspects, like growing and retaining high-value audiences and driving more impactful marketing experiences. Another key one is the site optimization, and this one's super cool. To keep web experiences operating at peak performance, the site optimization looks for opportunities to keep optimizing. It conducts those optimizations across your web experience, looking at page speed, looking at audience engagement, looking at conversion. It continually looks at your site implementation, your content, looks at your code repositories, and then conducts optimization across your web content and experiences to improve performance. It continually looks at the site implementation, the code, and then suggests prescriptive code to be implemented to improve performance. It can assist marketers in deploying these recommendations as part of the automated workflow, and both of these agents are available today. The other critical element of the agent orchestrator is multi-agent collaboration, so getting these agents to work together autonomously on key tasks. So ultimately, the agent orchestrator uses adaptive decision-making to coordinate across multiple agents within the Adobe ecosystem and other tools you have in your ecosystem to accomplish key goals while balancing load. I'm delighted to reshare an announcement we made in March about one of the new agentic apps, the Adobe Brand Concierge. This is built on the agent orchestrator, getting the different agents to work together and manage AI to make sure your customers move from purchase to conversion through to loyalty. And it enables real-time experiences. It's multimodal and supports integration between text, voice, images, and video. And because it's powered by content and data insights from Adobe's Experience Cloud, the Brand Concierge helps you personalize every engagement based on your individual customer's preference. So every single customer has a personalized Brand Concierge to help them through their experience and through their challenges. So let's have a look.
Adobe is transforming customer relationships, turning casual browsing into relevant connections with your brand. Introducing Adobe Brand Concierge. Fueled by rich engagement data and agentic AI, this adaptive tool understands what you want to accomplish and tailors interactions to sound, feel, and look like your brand, which gives each customer access to a personal assistant to guide them through their journey while driving business success. This all happens using customer data and predictive insights to deliver VIP experiences that go miles beyond a simple recommendation. With Adobe Brand Concierge, every one of your customers gets their very own brand ambassador.
A personalized agent for every single one of your customers, helping them achieve their goals. It's an incredibly exciting time to stand at the intersection of creativity, experience, and AI. The transformation that we drive together starts with creative ideation and redefines customer experiences for billions of people across every industry across the globe. Our mission at Adobe is to change the world through personalized experiences and enable everyone, from the biggest brands in the world down to the individual, to tell their story. And we're excited to supercharge customer experience orchestration with AI. As you've seen, AI is helping us unleash our creativity. It's helping us scale content, and it's helping us orchestrate experiences, being able to deliver personalized experiences across every channel for every customer at every time. I'd like to say a huge thank you for having me here today. It's been an honor to be at my first COMPUTEX. Thank you so much for your time. 谢谢.
Thank you, Mr. Wilmore, for showing us where the future is being read and written. Up next, we're going to invite Mr. Ben Gu, Corporate Vice President of Multi-Physics System Analysis at Cadence, to talk about the new millennium of AI-accelerated engineering and science. Let's welcome Mr. Ben Gu.
Good afternoon, everyone. So good to be here. Yeah, very excited to be in COMPUTEX in Taiwan. It's my first time to be here. I'm really impressed by so many people, such a big crowd. And more excitingly, everyone comes to COMPUTEX with a single interest, which is AI, of course. Actually, AI is so hard here that we almost feel we should use our thermal simulator to do some simulation, make sure that all the heat is equally distributed so that the AI, the interest can go on for several years. So I'm Ben Gu. I'm in charge of all the physics-based simulation software in Cadence. We develop softwares for power, for EM, for fluid dynamics, and for solid mechanics. So lots of simulations. So today, I'm really excited to be here to share with you our vision about the design for AI and the AI for design. We are really lucky to be in the crossroads of this incredible journey. For the sake of my small English vocabulary, I like to call it the recursive reinforcement loop. On the one hand, we are developing exciting technology to help our customers to do designs, to improve designs for AI chips, to advance AI technology. On the other hand, AI comes back to help us improve the design flow, to get the better design results. In software terms, it's called an infinity loop or positive reinforcement loop, whatever you want to call it. But this incredible loop will iterate forever to help us drive our innovation. Today, I'd like to share with you some of the innovations we did in the middle of this loop. Cadence is really lucky to be the center of the loop. We'd like to share with you our story. So first of all, let's look at the big picture. Without any doubt, AI is being accelerated. AI is changing every aspect of our lives in the last few years. Actually, you see some of the recent data by research firms. Everybody is raising the projection of AI's impact. Semiconductor used to be a boring business for a while, but now because of AI, that we are getting more and more exciting. With the latest data showing that semiconductor revenue will be increased from today's $700 billion to $1.2 trillion by 2030. But after spending 2 days in COMPUTEX, I believe that number is still significantly underestimation of the AI excitement. I think the number can be 1.5 trillion. Let's see. And also the opportunity of AI brought not only to chips, silicons, but also to systems. We heard from Jensen's keynote. GPU is not a single silicon anymore. It's a system. It's a server. It's a data center. The opportunities AI created for systems is even more huge, more exciting. We're looking at $5 trillion business opportunities. It's just tremendous, huge. Everyone is competing each other. That in order to make AI a reality, we are putting more and more compute on silicons, on packages, to do the training, to do the inference. The latest technology, this XOWX by TSMC, connects 40 radical-sized chips on one wafer together using RDL. It's just incredible that one wafer provides computing power of nearly a supercomputer. That's just unimaginable in the past. I think that the more exciting technologies will come up to meet the AI challenge. So not only a silicon and a package, but also that when you put those incredible, smart, intelligent chips into systems, that our system design complexity is becoming more and more challenging as well. The best example is self-driving cars. They're going to be deployed very, very soon. And the drones are already being used by many applications. And robots are expected to change every aspect of our lives. So all those intelligent systems and all the silicons are required to make AI reality. Is designed for AI. It's just incredibly pressing for software companies like Cadence to provide the best solutions to our customers. So on the other hand, we talk about design for AI, not AI for design. With AI technology advancing every day, and we start using AI technology to utilize, to optimize our design flow, to help our customers get the best utilization of the resource. From 2020, we started using AI technology in our design flow. We created reinforcement learning model for many aspects of a design products. Until today, we believe we already passed the inflection point. So more than 50% of our customers' tape-outs are using different AI technology. And then once you're used to this new technology, it's really hard to get back. We believe this adoption rate of AI in design flow will be accelerated. Very soon, I think by 2030, we should be able to see more than 90% of the design using AI. With new technology coming up, I think that with the flow, the methodology will be even more advanced, easier to use. You see the AI's impact to our EDA design flow. The silicon, package, PCB, or even the system can be summarized into two aspects. Number one is on the algorithm. In the last 40 years, EDA engineers, in order to meet the challenge of the design automation, we developed many incredibly complex algorithms. Sparse matrix solver, nonlinear programming, and logic synthesis, and so on. The objective of those algorithms are common. We try to help our customers to optimize their design. So those algorithms can be modernized by AI. And we have been doing that for a few years. We create the reinforcement learning models based on those algorithms. We deliver the models to our customers to speed up the performance incredibly, significantly. And also that enable our customers to search the design space in much larger steps. So with that, the results will be much better. So that's on the algorithm part. On that, the design abstraction part, last 40 years, we have seen that the EDA or design flow has been going through several big transitions, from manual layout to automated layout to cell-based place and route, RTL synthesis, high-level synthesis, and so on. But naturally, with large language models' help, we should be able to enable our customers using natural language, using English, using Chinese to do design very soon. Basically, the flow will be reversed. That we basically tell AI what kind of chips we want to design, what kind of systems we like to have, and AI, large language model, intelligent model, will translate the spec from plain natural language to high-level language, to RTL, to cell, and to transistors. The silicon will be realized. That's just an incredible transition. So with this optimization AI and the natural language together, we combine with our design agents, the agentic flow of Cadence, we can create just amazing applications. We call it the AI for design. So in order to solve the challenge for design for AI and the AI for design, we believe we need a 3 layers technology. The middle layer is what we call the principle, the simulation. Optimization, basically it's a physics, it's algorithm. We need to further advance our algorithm to help our customers to further improve their design. We developed the powerful engines for EDA, for digital verification customer, for system, for package PCB, and the 3D geometries, and for even for molecular life science. Once we have those powerful engines, we work with like hardware computer companies. We work with AMD, we work with Intel for x86 technologies. We work with ARM to port our algorithms to ARM computing architectures. And also, more excitingly, we work with NVIDIA to port all the software technologies from CPU to GPU to get just amazing results. We will talk more today. And once we have algorithm, and once we have the hardware acceleration, we are using AI technology to further better utilize the resource to get better results. We use AI to build a reinforced learning model to get an even further speed up. And we use agentic flow to optimize, to achieve complex tasks automatically, gradually, significantly improve the productivity of engineers. You combine the three-layer technology together. That's what we have for you. Like very, very comprehensive portfolio. We call it the Cadence.ai. Solve all the problems you have for your design. Now, next, I'd like to dive into this hardware acceleration part. I want to share with you something really exciting, something we just announced 2 weeks ago in our user conference in San Jose. We announced Millennium M2000 GPU acceleration solution. We collaborated closely with NVIDIA. Our engineers work with NVIDIA engineers to optimize the algorithms in their latest Blackwell architecture. We achieved amazing results, up to 80x performance improvement on solvers and up to 20x power reduction. With this level of performance improvement and the total cost of ownership reduction, the results, the impact of Millennium on our design flow for AI is just tremendous, unbelievable. It's best summarized by Jensen here. Millennium will transform discovery across disciplines. You know, we worked really hard. We port almost all the simulation technologies from CPU to GPU to Blackwell technology. We have a comprehensive portfolio from silicon design to system design to life science. Different software, but same exciting results. We worked with many, many customers. The results are equally exciting. You know, we worked here. I'd like to highlight the results from Supermicro. We work with their engineers to optimize the thermal performance of their servers. You know, the GPU servers generate a humongous amount of heat that needs to be optimized. That we got the more than 8x performance improvement using Millennium solution, the GPU solution. And also, by working with MediaTek, we proved our dynamic R job analysis solution, Voltus, can provide more than 30x performance improvements using GPU on their designs. You know, this dynamic R job design, dynamic R job analysis for SoC design is almost #1 challenging simulation problem for SoC. Very often, it requires hundreds of computers to work together for weeks, for days, even weeks. By providing the 30x performance improvement, you know, you can reduce days to hours. It's a significant improvement. And not only that, but because of this huge performance improvement, you can run much longer cycles. we can help you design, identify, and fix the design bugs before you tape out. That's why we got this incredible remark from our friend, our partner in MediaTek. They can solve the problems previously impossible to solve. Of course, we love those remarks from our customers, but the best one, the most exciting one, is from this iconic customer.
Right here on stage, 10 Millennium M2000s. Maximum configuration. Thank you, gents.
Wow. You know, I have been through several product launches by myself. This is the first one. We have customers give us a PO on stage. Thank you very much, Jensen, for your trust and generosity. By the way, I will stay here after this, that keynote. If you want to put some orders, we love to take it. And our country manager, my friend Brian, is in audience. Please talk to him. I'm sure he will give you the best discount. Yeah. We do have several variations of Millennium. We worked with NVIDIA for different type of GPUs ported from RTX 6000 Pro to B200 to this monster NVL72. What Jensen ordered is the most powerful one, the NVL72. So that's designed for AI. With this kind of the performance GPU provides, the Millennium provides, we can do so many more. What we can do that because of performance significantly improved, we can run many, many more simulations to generate many more data points, huge data set. We can build a neural network using the data set. So in future, you don't need to go through the same simulation again. You can use neural network to predict, to do the inference, to predict the performance. That will give you even more significant speed up. So from CPU to GPU, normally we talk about a 10x, 30x, 100x improvement. But from GPU to neural network, we're talking about millions. That's just incredible. Think about that. The traditional design flow, you need to run several hundred iterations to get the best results. Each iteration will take you hours. You need several hundred hours. But with this new flow to help, everything can be done within minutes. So we have tried this on our thermal solver, Celsius. I see the performance is just amazing, and the accuracy is equally incredible. It's less than 1%. It can be used even for sign-off. Of course, we love to work with all the customers here to explore the new technology. It's just amazing. So we talk about this design for AI. Now I'd like to transition to the other side of the loop, is AI for design, which is to use AI technology to optimize the design flow. Just like self-driving cars, it takes stages to reach the ultimate, right? Which is the car can drive by itself. So the design flow, the AI automation for design, it's going through the same journey. So we are working across all the software stacks we have, from digital to verification to custom to package to system. We are using agentic flow as a driving force to move all the software stack through stages. So level 1 is optimization AI. I just talk a little bit. We build a reinforcement learning model, use that to accelerate the simulation, to accelerate the design. Level 2 is we use large language model to generate, to do the documentation search, to generate a script, to help you improve your productivity. Level 3, that we can use the sub-agents built in level 2. We put them together. We can achieve some complex task. Level 3 is a continuation of level 2 and level 3. Or level 4 is a continuation. we build an entire comprehensive agentic flow, which can do a subsystem design. Of course, level 5 will be ultimatum. Means that you use natural language to tell AI you want to build like chip, a system with certain metrics, then boom, everything's generated automatically. Of course, that takes years, takes decades to get there. But if you, just like us, if you believe the incredible force of the loop, the loop I mentioned in the beginning, AI for design, design for AI, that we can get there faster than we can believe. So let's look at some examples of level 1, level 2, level 3. This optimization AI, like I mentioned, it's a reinforcement learning-based modeling approach that we have been building solutions for the last few years. We have a comprehensive portfolio for digital, for verification, for analog, and for system. We use similar algorithms. We build upon the common data platform, JetAI. The results are equally phenomenal. For syllabus of a digital design flow, that we already worked with many customers. We got 1,000 tape-outs done. Now, what is amazing that unanimously, we have seen better results using AI than human. Some designs are significantly better, and some designs are slightly better. But unanimously, the AI has been doing better than human. And also the optimality, the system AI approach that give us much better results. We use this AI optimization algorithm to help our customers to design better servers, better data centers, better cars. So lots of applications. So level 2 is what we call the co-pilot approach. We use conversational large language model agents across our software portfolio. So that's what we're working on today. We're going to finish the step very soon. So we are building Copilot. We integrated Copilot into every software we have. And user can use natural language, talk to our software. We do the documentation search. We do the script generation for you. And that we refine the large language model using the documentation, our software documentation, using Cadence knowledge base. And even further, we give you the API for you to integrate your own knowledge to get better results. One example here is our Allegro X Assistant. By click this button, you get the Copilot, you enter the query. You want the Copilot to generate some skill code for you to get the total length of all the nets in the design. And the script is generated and executed, you get a result. It's about the 19,000. So that, according to the feedbacks from our customers, is already a huge help because that will bring lots of junior engineers to the productivity level. So level 3 is built upon level 2. Level 2, you have a Copilot. You can call it the single task, right? It's like really simple one you can do. And level 3, basically that by using complex reasoning model, you can achieve complex task. Instead of doing documentation search, or instead of generating one line of script, that the large language model behind can generate the complex scripts to achieve complex tasks. And also, more importantly, it talks back to the engine to verify the results, to give you feedback, to further automatically improve the script generation. So here's an example of using Jasper to write a Verilog assertion. You click the prompt, you type in the natural language and describe what kind of assertion you want to write. And large model building generate the assertion. And more importantly, it talks, it interacts with Jasper under the hood and verify results. And based on the feedback of Jasper, it further improves the script generated and give you the better results. And all the reasoning, all the interaction between large language model and the script generation and the tool is recorded. So for the further improvements. So we talk about level 2 and level 3. Basically, you can see that it's from sub-agent to, you can call it a macro agent to sub-agent. Now we will enter level 4. Level 4 is a continuation of level 3. Level 4 will combine several sub-agents together to build a comprehensive agentic flow to finish the entire design flow. The best example is Celebris Design Studio. With AI Studio, we just announced 2 weeks ago in our user conference. So basically that we have several agents in the flow to do the floor planning, to do place and route, to get the best results, and to do integration, and to do the sign off, to do the ECO, to close the design. They work together, they get the best results. So not only on silicon, we're also doing this design automation, agentic flow in data centers. You see that in our reality digital twin, we provide this agentic flow for our customers to optimize, to analyze the results of simulation, to identify the problems, to root cause the problems, to fix the problems. So we are closely working with NVIDIA, with Foxconn, and to deploy this reality in all the data centers. We call it AI factory now, of course. Another exciting thing about agentic flow is that we talk about that we have multiple agents working together, achieve complex tasks. And we are developing a common agent interface for those agents to talk to each other. We have a common data platform for them to communicate. And I think that just the possibility of innovation is just infinity. I think more exciting is that we are open this API to our customers. And we use common protocol, and we can enable our customers to write their own agent, talk to our building agents to achieve even more automation, more intelligent flow you can think of. It's just lots of potentials. So here is a quick summary of our system agents. We like to have at the silicon side, we like to have a silicon agent. Under the hierarchy, we have several like subtask agent and doing the job. And also that even further, we have a macro agents doing similar tasks, organizing them together. It's almost like you manage, each designer can manage an entire design teams. Right? You just need to work with each of the agents, occasionally fix mistakes, but most of the time, those agents work together tirelessly to achieve something just incredible. So in summary, that we like to work with our customers, everyone here, to achieve this design for AI, AI for design journey, from level 1 to level 2 to all the way to level 5. It takes years, but it will be. If you believe the incredible force of that loop I mentioned, that thing can be achieved. At the end, I like to quote the Jensen here. I'm really excited about his incredible remark in his keynote. He said the AI is infrastructure, and Taiwan is heart of AI, and I like to add, which is, yes, Taiwan is the heart of AI, and the Cadence is heartbeat. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Gu, for your informative presentation.